Do you know the steps to take when you are involved in an auto accident? If not, no worries. We have Peter Catania from Catania and Catania here today to tell us everything we need to know. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
You as well, Carly.
We were just talking before we got started, and I think this is so good to remind people, because we were saying it's not every day that you're in an accident, and I think when something like this happens that's so scary, you kind of forget everything,
Sure,
right? Do you
sure.
kind of hear that happening?
All the time. And so like you said, you're not, thank goodness, in a car accident every day. So it's not a set of steps that you necessarily run through every day, so it becomes more of a habit. But so everything I tell you is a general rule. Okay. What you'll find in the law is everything's very fact specific, right? So given any set of facts that may change, my answer may change. But generally speaking, when you're in an auto accident, the first thing you want to do is secure yourself and your passengers.
Okay.
Do an immediate assessment, whether you're injured, check if you have passengers, assess them, see if they're injured. That's the first and foremost thing. As best you can, stay calm. It's easier to think through what steps need to be taken and how best to respond to any immediate needs that either yourself or your passengers may have. So it's easier said than done. And again, it depends upon the severity of the crash. You may be in shock. If airbags are deploying, there's often smoke in the driver's compartment that may add to stress and a reaction, etc. So as best you can, assess your situation, stay calm. Once you've gone through those steps, 911, make sure the police are notified and on their way. Depending upon where the accident happened, you may want to make sure that you're not exposing yourself to additional danger.
Okay. Now, real quickly, even just if you think it's a minor accident, are these the still same steps? Call 911, make sure that everything is documented from authorities?
Yes. And so in a minor accident, absolutely, these are very straightforward steps that are excellent steps to take. It'll make sure that you get through the process and get through this immediate trauma intact. And
because I'm thinking you might have sometimes somebody say, well, don't worry about, we'll just handle it. Everyone seems okay. Let's just keep it between us.
Right. And I would tell you that's probably not the best course to take. Main reason is that oftentimes people's memories or recollections may change as to how the accident occurred. So as best as you can get the accident documented by a law enforcement agency, not only will that information be used in insurance exchange, making your claims, etc., but if there's any dispute later as to the facts of how the accident occurred or otherwise, you can rely on the report at least as an initial investigation and a place to start. Oftentimes the report will list witnesses, we'll have the driver's statements, and sometimes the officer even actually does a little drawing to kind of recreate the location, the order of the vehicles involved, etc. So yes, once you've done the first two steps, meaning stay calm, assess your situation, secure your own well-being, your passengers' well-being, call 911. Oftentimes people feel the need to talk. Best you can, limit your conversation to law enforcement. Always cooperate with their investigation. Any statements you may make to any other of the drivers may be used at a later date. So keep it limited. If you want to ask, are they okay? Is there anything I can do to help? Those are perfectly fine statements.
Probably about 30 seconds left. When do we call an attorney if we think we might need one?
So the next step is medical attention. Even if you think your injuries are minor, under Florida's no-fault law, it's called PIP. You'll hear people refer to a PIP. If you don't see a physician or any kind of healthcare provider within 14 days of the date of the accident, you waive your right to make any claim under PIP, and it's not unusual for injuries to begin to manifest, to come to the surface within 72 hours, 3-4 days post-accident, and most of the time folks will say, oh, well, I'll just work my way through it, I'll power through it, and it turns out 10 days, 12 days later that it's more significant than they originally assessed, and now they're in a position where they may waiver their rights under the policy. So get medical attention, even if there's a doubt, even if it's a minor pain or discomfort, get it documented, get an assessment, and that way you've preserved your right to make a PIP claim. And then once these steps have been taken, please feel free to call your attorney. If you're able to, do it that day. If not, the next. Time is of the essence. And as an attorney, you want to get the process started. You want to get claims called in. You want to get the scene investigated, preserved if necessary. If there's an evidence issue, if there's a liability issue. So the sooner the better.
All right. Well, and that leads us to
Sure.
our free consultation that I know you're so
Absolutely.
generous to make sure that people know that they can call if they
Sure.
have questions, whether it be this or any other subject that you guys talk about, you
Absolutely.
and your team. Always so good to see you.
Thanks,
We
Carly.
appreciate your time this morning.
I
We look
appreciate
forward
it.
to seeing you again soon. Again, there is the number to call to get your questions answered and their website as well.